Hi, my name is Tessa Broad, and the product I've chosen to do my supply chain analysis report on is gold kiwifruit and the export of them into China. My interest in this product stems from my dad growing kiwifruit back home in Gisborne. While studying this product, I came across 6 supply chain sectors. The first one beginning at the grower. The grower has to comply with many regulations to even begin to grow kiwifruit. Zespri is the sole exporter and marketer of kiwifruit in New Zealand, so therefore they have a high quality standard that growers must achieve to be able to grow products for them. People wanting to plant gold kiwifruit have to apply for a license to grow, and in 2017 the asking price for a hectare of gold kiwifruit land to plant them on is $270,000. This price reflects how well the industry is doing, and the price every year tends to rise. Not everyone who applies for a license to grow kiwifruit, however, is accepted. Successful applicants must have a suitable climate and soil, which is decided by Zespri and is essential to their business and their success. Orchard hygiene is also very important in preventing the spread of disease. In 2010, a disease called PSA caused widespread damage to the industry, costing growers hundreds of thousands of dollars. Since the outbreak, new varieties of gold kiwifruit have been bred that were found to be more tolerant to the disease. Kiwifruit Vine Health have produced guidelines for growers to ensure they do their part in managing their orchard and preventing further spread of PSA, like cleaning vehicles and machinery after they've been used before moving paddocks, along with cleaning footwear and clothing by the growers and those working on the orchard. The next step in the supply chain is harvest. Before any fruit can be harvested, it must pass the tests done by Eurofins, which is a lab contracted by Zespri. The tests carried out include a Brix test. The Brix is the measurement of the sugar content in the kiwifruit. The optimal Brix level for gold varieties is 8%. The dry matter is also recorded, which is the mass of the kiwifruit once it has been dried. This reflects the amount of carbohydrates in the fruit. Other tests done also include seed colour, weight, flesh colour, and firmness. Health and safety while in the orchard is very important, and both growers and harvesters must be fully aware of any risks and protocols that are pointed out by the growers. The Health and Safety at Work Act 2015 ensures the safety of those working on the orchard and makes growers put in place any risks while working on their property. The next is post-harvest. Post-harvest facilities are the last to handle the fruit before it leaves the country to be exported to China. To ensure a perfect product once the kiwifruit arrives in China, Kiwifruit Vine Health have developed protocols to minimize any potential biosecurity risks. Again, PSA is a big threat to other countries, so it must be contained. This is done by thorough cleaning of any machinery used between different orchards, etc. Appropriate packaging is essential for ensuring the kiwifruit doesn't get damaged in transit to China. Most of the time, the packaging of the kiwifruit changes once in China into smaller packs for retail in the correct Chinese language for ease of the consumer, so it doesn't seem so foreign. It also makes sense to change the packaging because while in transit it makes much more sense to carry the fruit in larger containers. Export is next in the supply chain. In 2008, China and New Zealand signed a free trade agreement with the goal of increasing exports into each country and growing their economies even further without the extra tax. Reducing these trade barriers meant little to no tariffs put on international goods, and in 2016 the tariffs on exporting kiwifruit into China were eliminated. Another regulation that affects the exportation of kiwifruit is the Kiwifruit Export Regulations 1999. A main factor in the regulations is that every grower wishing to export their cold kiwi fruit must have a supply contract through Zespri. This ensures that the export industry can be firmly controlled by the business, essentially creating a monopoly for themselves. Although there is an alternative way of exporting gold kiwi fruit out of New Zealand, and that is through the collaborative marketing arrangement. The purpose of this arrangement is to increase the overall wealth of New Zealand kiwi fruit producers. Though Zespri are the main exporters of gold kiwi fruit in New Zealand, Kiwi Fruit New Zealand may approve other individuals to export kiwi fruit in collaboration with Zespri. Since being introduced, though, the arrangement has only covered roughly 2% of exports per year. Next in the supply chain is marketing. The Kiwi Fruit Restructuring Act, along with the Kiwi Fruit Export Regulations 1999, are the main kiwi fruit industry structure. Both the Act and the regulations highlight Zespri as the main and sole exporter of kiwi fruit to China and New Zealand, except of course for the collaborative marketing arrangement. This arrangement is commonly referred to as the single point of entry. Before these regulations came into play, there were many separate businesses and orchardists competing against each other, driving the prices very low. However, once Zespri was created in the years of 1996 and 1997 as the sole exporter and marketer of kiwi fruit in New Zealand, prices skyrocketed as a result of the monopoly they have created and setting a high standard for the kiwi fruit industry worldwide. The MPI have set out requirements for the labelling of food products. These requirements must be met as labels on food products help consumers to decide on what they are going to buy. However, because gold kiwi fruit is a whole fruit and not further processed into another product, each individual fruit does not require its own label. Instead, the box or tray that it came in must include information including the date the fruit was harvested, the orchard ID, storage instructions, along with writing instructions. However, the information on Zespri's website is given on the packaging for further information on every product. Next up is consumer, the last step of the gold kiwi fruit supply chain. Traceability is important to the consumer as it gives them the information on where the fruit is from. It also helps identify the fruit as Zespri's own fruit. In 2018, the Chinese government intercepted 120 trays of fake Zespri kiwi fruit that was being sold in China. The fruit was able to be identified as fake due to the technology used in radio frequency identification tags. Scenarios like this is what the technology is designed to do, protect Zespri and their brand by maintaining quality through their own fruit so that other companies don't try to damage the business. All these regulations set out by various companies throughout the supply chain of gold kiwi fruit and its export into China help to keep the gold kiwi fruit exporting industry as New Zealand's number one horticultural exporter, along with ensuring everyone involved safety. Thank you.